SketchUp show, we have a SketchUp model of a contemporary farmhouse, and we've been inspired by images of these glass wall systems to alter our original design. So we're going to remove a door, widen the opening, and add a NanaWall system from the 3D warehouse. Then we'll finish by setting up a view of the landscape and saving the scene for our client presentation. As usual, if we cover anything you're unfamiliar with in SketchUp, you can ask questions in the comments below or browse our entire library of video tutorials on our website. But for now, let's get started with this tutorial. The first thing I want to do is zoom down into where I'm going to put the NanaWall component. I'll delete the existing door and open up the walls so that I can get my NanaWall component in there. Then I'll go to the 3D warehouse, search for NanaWall, and download the glass wall right there into the model. And I'm going to make sure to place it precisely at the corner to make sure that works. Now, this component is too tall. So there's two ways we can make it work to fit in the space. One, we could change the wall opening, or two, we could change the dynamic component. Now, I happen to know we made this dynamic component for NanaWall so that it was easy to change the height. So let's do that. Now I know this is a dynamic component, so I can check out the component options to handle the height. But there's also a few other component options I want to take a look at here. So these NanaWall models have the ability to open and close. They have an ability to select how many panels you want and where the break happens. Here's the option I'm concerned with. I want to change this unit height so that it makes sense in this space. There's also the option for unit width, although I'm going to fix the gap with the push-pull tool a little later. And then there's an option to pick exterior color, another for which direction the component swings, the mount type, and then also several sill options. With the unit height changed, I'll click apply, and then the dynamic component will recalibrate. And then the dynamic component will fit vertically in the space. And now the last thing I have to do is take that push-pull tool again and bring that wall right back over to the edge. So we've imported the NanaWall dynamic component into our SketchUp model. Now let's import an image into SketchUp to use as our backdrop. So first I want to get a view from back behind the model. And then I'm going to import an image that I've already downloaded to my desktop. You want to orient the image vertically, scale it up a little bit. If you use a back face here, you'll want to unglue it from that face. And then what we'll do is use the move tool to move it off, in this case in the green direction, and then move it down in the blue a little bit. And what I'm trying to do here is use the move tool and the scale tool to put this approximately in place so that when you're in the living room looking out, you can get a better view of this landscape. Of course, to see what this looks like, we'll need to get inside the living room. So let's zoom back around to the front where we had the NanaWall. And I happen to know that this NanaWall component gives me the option to also open it. So we'll open up the doors. And then we'll take the position camera tool and we'll actually place a camera that allows us to look back out towards the backdrop. And if you look around, you probably won't have nailed the position of this image. For instance, mine is floating a little too high and it could be moved out in space. So first thing, let's set a scene here so that we can come back around to this. And then let's go back out to the back scene and start to make some adjustments to the placement of that image. So in my case, I'll move it back in space a little bit, maybe move it down just a bit, even use the scale tool to continue to scale things around. And then you can preview the changes you've made by clicking back on that scene tab you set and taking a look there. And you'll want to continue making adjustments till you have it looking just right. Now, there's a lot of things we could do next with this model, but I'm actually curious to find out how you would present this design idea to your clients. Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Go ahead and start a new file. We'll start this example with the rectangle tool. If you type in a distance here, the distance is going to be the overall distance between the center of the first copy and the center of the last copy. Welcome to the SketchUp Pro Series for working with CAD. Click on the texture that's in there, and it'll replace it with the new one from the library. Load that with the fridge that I downloaded to the desktop. You get a really detailed component that you can edit really quickly. Click on that refrigerator and get a liter text for that.
Now when the scene is finished, before you haul off and start making changes, you have a couple of options.